Okay, so OCD Mikey, Hi-Fi Guy, and I am going to play a little piece here. And we're using now, I have my server disconnected, and I'm using the Waversea. And actually, I'm using the streamer that's inside the router. So this is a two-piece deal. It's kind of steep. It's at 4,500 for the piece, but it will replace both your streamer and your audiophile router. So it's kind of cool because I love anything that consolidates all the mess of wires and everything behind the rig. And it sounds really good, actually. I really like this piece, and enough that I may buy it. So what I'm going to do is play this one first, and then I'm going to put in the actual streamer or the server after this and see if it gets better, because they also have a streamer/server. Okay, so here we go. Play this tune here. Okay, here we go.
Exactly why winter came, made it so. Look alive. Underneath the grass would grow, aiming at the sky.
Okay, so I'm gonna go change it out. Hold on. Okay, so now I've got the core plugged in. It's called the W core, and this stuff is pretty wild. It's definitely plug and play. I mean, I'm plugging in. It's finding my rune. It shows up on my rune. It plays instantaneously. So that's really good. You just sort of have to use the mentality when you're hooking it up of a computer person. So like this is I had the router before, which the wide area network, the WAN came in and then it went out of the other output. Actually, the WAN came in and then it had a USB out that goes to the DAC. Now this one is called the core, or it's called a server. Yet all it's got is 4 Ethernets on back. That's it. So I had to think just like I was doing computer, and so I put on this on the output of the switch, I just added this one on as something on the network, a client. And then when I turned on Rune, or when I went back to Rune, it's showing up here, and I can just choose it and enable it. So I can choose this and enable this to playback, or I can choose the router that's feeding this and enable that for playback. It's really kind of a trip. It's I don't quite get the redundancy, but I think maybe it's so that the products can be used together and or both, and when they are independently, and when they're used independently, they're complete in themselves. That's all I can get from this, I gather. So let's see if we can if this sounds any different at all. Here we go.
Exactly why winter came, made it so. Look alive. Underneath the grass would grow.
wow, that's sounding pretty good. I wonder how much that is. Ay, ay, ay. Do I dare ask? Now what I'll do, because I'm suspecting it sounds better than my home built server, which sounds pretty damn good. It's got the JCat and all that stuff. I'm gonna put my home based server in now and see if that made a difference. See what kind of a difference there is. Okay, hold on. Okay, so now I've got my server in compared to the Waversea.
And the people went into their high from the start. They didn't know exactly why. Winter came, made it so. Look alike. Underneath the grass would grow, aiming at the sky. It was swift, it was just another way.
Okay, so I think my server's better. That was more open and just clear and clean sounding. It's like the Waversea just sort of mellowed it out a little bit. It kind of smoothed it out, which was kind of nice, but that's at the expense of micro detail. And that stuff gives the, that air, that real just presence, So I think I definitely like it better with my server, which has the JCat USB output card and the JCat power supply. So it sounds better than in this test. It sounds better than Waversea, at least on this piece. I think they have one above this, which is that kind of funky looking one with the tubes on it. But okay, so that is that. I don't know if we want to, for shits and giggles, we can put the DAC up there, take out my DAC. Okay, so we heard how good that sounded. Now let's take out my DAC and let's put in the Waversea DAC, and we'll see how that sounds. So hold on. Let's see if we put the DAC there, and I'm feeding it from USB. Yeah, we'll see how that works. Yeah, hold on. Okay, so I forgot this was going to be a little tricky. There is no volume control on the Waversea DAC, which I think is gross oversight. Like, because they have something on there. It's a switch that does like negative 3B. It's the adjust. Negative 3 dB, negative 6, 9, 12, whatever, negative 24. And then it has the positives. But you should also have one there as a selection that says, that turns on a volume control. So we're going to try negative 6. Hopefully it's not too much. Let's see. Okay, this is negative 6. Let's see.
And the people went
Okay, so I don't really quite see that it has the oomph that the playback does. It sounds to me like it's definitely not as good as the playback. Although there's a couple settings on this DAC that have to do with other things. One is the tube-like thing, and then I don't know what the other one is. So I can try setting those, and there's also upsampling. So I'll give that a shot. So hold on, let's see. Okay, so now there is something in the menu called out rate. So I'm guessing that's bit rate, bit depth conversion, or I don't know, sample rate conversion probably. Because so the out rate is like 1x, 2x, 4x, 8x. So I've got it on 8x. I'm guessing that means it upsamples 8 times. So let's see if we hear anything. Here we go.
Exactly why winter came, made it so. Look alike. Underneath the grass would grow, aiming at the sky.
So I can't really tell if that did anything. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go turn on the vacuum tube simulation thing. See what that sounds like. Hold on. Okay, so it's like, this thing's called WAP, W-A-P-X. And once you choose WAP-X on, then you have 3 different WAP-X modes. MD1, MD2, MD3. I'm guessing that is first, second, or third order harmonics. Or it could be first, second, and third level of it. I just put on WAP 2 or MD2, so in case it's harmonics, we're doing the right harmonics, the second order. So let's listen now.
People went into their high from the start. They didn't know exactly why. Winter came, made it so. Look alike. Underneath the grass would grow, aiming at the sky. It was swift, it was just another wave of a miracle. But no one, nothing at all, will go for the kill. If they called on every soul in the land, on the moon, only then would they know a blessing in disguise.
Started falling asleep. Yeah, so I don't know. Let me put in now the playback again so you can hear it. Hold on. Okay, now we're back to the Playback Designs DAC MPD-8. Which, oh, by the way, this doesn't do anything. This has no settings, no upsampling rates that you change, nothing like that. No filters you change. There's zero things to do. You get what you get. And this DAC does not need them. Does not need any adjustments. Okay, so here we go.
And the people went into their high from the start. They didn't know exactly why. Winter came, made it so. Look alive, look alive. Underneath the grass would grow, aiming at the sky. It was swift, it was just.
And there you have it. Sounds a lot different. So anyways, that wraps it up for the Waversea checkout. I would say, all in all, I'm not that impressed with the DAC. I am impressed with the router. I think that thing's a solid piece. And the server, nope, it's irrelevant. The server doesn't matter in this case. If you have, if you're going to get one of these pieces, I would match them, for sure. Definitely the music server and the router. I think it sounds better out of the music server than the router. I'm sorry, it sounds better out of the yes, it sounds better out of the music server than the router, but that music server was no better than my music server served from that router. So anyways, that's it. Wrapping it up now. See you.